Welcome everybody to Catfish Weekly, along with Chad and Josh. I'm Lyle, and boys, it cooled off.
It did, but it's not sticking around.
No, we're going to get some more hot weather, but
They
we
said
all knew we was going to get some more hot.
we are good for, at least around here, we're good for 2 or 3 false falls.
Right.
You'll think you moved into fall, and then no, it's 95 degrees again right after. So
I will take what we've gotten.
I'm
with
not
the
going
weekends
to
being as the last 2 weekends have been gorgeous.
Beautiful.
So.
I made so much progress on the John boat over the weekend just because it was 75 degrees instead of 105. So
exactly.
Well, Chad has actually caught a ton of fish the last 2 weekends. And
I know.
saw
I'm
that.
proud
Yeah.
of you. You got to go out and catch some fish. You've done really good. You guys are having a great time. And I've been catching a lot of panfish and stuff, but I haven't been trying for any catfish. But it's getting close to time. I'm about ready to start firing up on them. But the weather, fall is my favorite time of year because it's around 40s and 50s for lows and 70s and not usually over 80 for highs. And for a fat old man, that just works out really well.
Well, we had like it was like 47, I think, when we launched yesterday, and the high of low 70s. Beautiful day.
It's hard to beat that. It just is. I don't care.
I think it got up to like, I don't know, right around 80 today. So it warmed up a little bit more than it has been, but it was cool this morning. It was like 50 this morning when I got out to take Caitlin to school. So
right, yeah, and then but you know we can all deal with that. We really can.
I will take that. I like this. I like it when it starts cooling off. I don't like it when it gets frigid cold, but I like when it starts to cool off a little bit.
I like the fall weather. That's
yeah, me too. And I don't like bitter cold, but I can't take extreme heat. I just man,
I could do better with the bitter cold than I can the extreme heat.
You can always put more clothes on, but when you can't take no more off, there ain't no more to take off. You're still.
I'll say last time it got that hot, I got a ticket. So I'm just saying.
Wow.
Hey,
I
got some tournaments. We got a monstrous tournament down here on the Ohio River this weekend. I did not partake in this year due to personal reasons, but I was out there in spirit and also cutting off anglers as they were fishing on Sunday. So, it was very.
They loved you.
Before I stayed out of everybody's way, but it was very interesting that pictures that I posted last weekend when we came out of the launch yesterday, there were 3 boats in the same exact location that I caught those fish and posted the pictures.
Nice.
Imagine that.
Anyway, they had 178 boats, down from 200 last year, but that's still a hell of a lot of boats.
That's a lot of boats.
144 of those teams weighed in. That's a pretty good ratio for. Let's go over the. We'll stop posting pictures that keep popping up in front of the results. Jerk. This is a 2-day tournament out of Rising Sun, Indiana. Most people call it the Rising Sun Tournament, but it's the Ohio Valley River Cats Tournament, brought to you by G3 Boats. We've got, again, it's a 2-day tournament. I'm going to smack you in 2 seconds. Now I scrolled over, or I made my screen bigger so I could see this. But to be in the money of this tournament, that was the top 15 people, you had to have a 2-day weight of 131.13. So that was Team Breedlove, Arthur and Halcomb. 14th place, Ross and Owens at 132.05. 13th place was Sheffel and Gentry at 135.53. 12th place was Dickerson and Bright, 135.81. Iselt and Harton coming in 11th place at 137.51. Bevan and Lane in 10th place at 140.66. 9th place, Tudorow and Reasoner, 142.48. 8th place was Smith, Gausher and Davis at 142.54. 7th place, Blair, McCord, and Travis Mattingly at 142.68. 6th place was Woodall and Freeman at 142.82. Tied, though they were tied for 5th. No, it wasn't. No, I was wrong. Okay. And 5th place was Landon Fields at 148.82.
By itself.
No, Land and Fields.
Oh, Landon Fields. Okay.
I don't know if I'm related to the Fields person or not. I don't know who it was. 4th place was Team King at 150.49. 3rd place was Team Gabbard at 170.75. 2nd place, who led the tournament on day 1, Team Height had 182.65. They had 107 day 1.
Oh, wow.
Jack and Sarah.
And Team Cooper won it with 234.63 pounds.
That's awesome.
They also had big fish, so just put it. They won to the $10,000 first place, and then on top of it, they got the big fish with a 55.89 pound flathead.
Awesome.
That was an additional $6,000 fish. So, hell of a weekend for them boys and girls. So.
Yeah. Congratulations to all of them.
It was pretty cool. They said 25% of the teams had a veteran on the boat.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is nice.
Yeah. So I know Miss V. Smith was down there on the bank. They didn't fish it, they said, but she was down there on the bank. I see her in the chat. Do you guys want to say hi, or you want me to?
Let's do that. Let me get back up here to the top. I got it. Starting out, first one I see is Mike Sampson. Hello, Mike, or hello, Sampy. They got Nebraska Wildcats, Catfish Weekly's in there. V. Smith, Bugman 22. There's Catfish with us. There's channel member Tom from LG Bass. There's Lance McCouguy, the Hawaiian fisherman. I was talking to him earlier tonight about how difficult it is to get an AI voice to say his last name correctly. So,
really,
I finally figured out how to do it. So, we have ET. 15% had kids at the tournament. That's cool too.
It is good.
Yeah.
There is channel member Mark from Catfish and Crappie. Hello, Mark. There is Schmieder of the Cedars. Dave Garchar, Bureau Boys Outdoors. Let's see. Scrolling down. Chat's flying. There is our buddy Jeremy from Creole Catfishing.
Very cool, V. V said she interviewed 60 anglers plus the director, staff, DNR, and vendors.
Oh, that's cool. There is 3 Nights. Fishing with Jeff Beal. Jeff Beal's got a tournament coming up this weekend that I am leaning very heavily now towards fishing. It was going to depend on whether I had the boat water ready, and I'm to that point that I know it is. So now I got to build a fishing rod. Big Bill's veteran catfishing. Let's see, scrolling down. There's channel member James from Cool Cats Fishing. Hello, James.
Is that the tournament where you have to use a rod that you built?
You have to use a rod that you built, and you cannot use fishing rod components. So, like, you can't go strip an old busted up rod for its guides and glue them to a stick. You got to come up
work. I build them all the time.
Yeah, you gotta use non-fishing rod components to construct the fishing rod. So
yeah, I'm probably not going to do that.
But Chris Flores and I did that. We built our own rod and built our own reel a few years ago. So I do have experience building fishing rods.
Hey, Paul Boyd, welcome in. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. It'd be fun to watch. See what everybody comes up with fishing.
I think when the show's over tonight, I got to run and get the stuff that I'm going to use to make the rod. So, James Dockery, it's a catfish tournament to the best of my knowledge. Jeff Beal will have to answer that. It's good to see James Dockery in here.
He is a closet viewer.
A closet what?
Viewer.
Oh,
Not even touching that one.
I wasn't going to.
I could elaborate if you like.
No, let's not. People have gotten used to us having a show every Monday. I really don't want to get us kicked off.
Hey, speaking of Mondays, next Monday, isn't that our Top Cat tournament?
Next Monday is our Top Cat tournament.
And
Do we have an angler pick?
Stan Smith.
Stan Smith.
Who's that? Oh, I'm just kidding.
Wow. There's Troy for Real and Virtual Outdoors. Hello, Troy.
Joe Buck 66. Glad to see everybody join us tonight. It's boys, I got stranded a while ago. I really wasn't too happy about that. Truck wouldn't start. Had to get a jump. Bad battery in my truck, but they used to make batteries in the last 5 or 6 years. Now, if you get 2 or 3 years out of one, you've done good because
You've done good at that point.
We only got 1 year warranty on them, the best you can get almost, unless you get a lithium. Very disappointed. Sitting there with fish in a basket ready to leave and truck wouldn't start.
It's funny hearing you whine. Made me think of a question.
Whining, I'm just stating facts.
Hold on. Let me ask my question. Hey Alexa, how many games are the St. Louis Cardinals behind?
Stop it!
I hear her talking.
I'm going to knock you out. Oh my God! I forgot to turn the damn thing off. Holy crap!
Oh, that's awesome.
She's over rattling off some bull butter that I don't know what she's even 3,000 something or other. I don't know what she's talking about. She don't even know what you said, but you called her name, and that's all that matters.
Yep, that's all it takes. There's H. Lee Osborne. But the fall weather that we've had, I mean, we got a taste of it. Is what it boiled down to. We got a taste of fall. And but it got me thinking. We're coming in that time of year where a lot of different presentations are going to really be effective. I mean, this is probably one of the best times of year I've ever had for suspend drifting. I love suspend drifting. It's a real good time of year for it. Same thing with dragging baits. You can catch fish off the anchor. Okay, start with a DIY setup, which is not a blank or has conventional fishing rod parts. Anglers can use reel, terminal, tackle, baits of choice. Once you catch a catfish, you can add a standard rod.
So once you catch one on
your homemade rod,
you can use regular.
Then you can add a second rod that could be a conventional rod.
I think they're looking for more than that. I've seen high school teams play better than the Chiefs did the other night. But last night, boys, if anybody follows football, last night was a bang-up game. It was I would say probably one of the best football games you'll see all year on Sunday Night Football. The Bills and I forgot who they played, but it was
Ravens.
Ravens, yeah. It was back and forth and come right down to the end of the game, and it was really good, really good. But the Chiefs, not so much. They went out of the country and got turned over somebody's knee and paddled their little butt for them. But I'm not a Chiefs fan, so I don't really care.
All right, can we talk about fishing again, or?
Yeah, let's go back to fishing.
Do we need to ask Alexa a question?
Will you stop? I would never do you that.
All you have to do is just say, Alexa, red alert.
I pushed the wrong one. I got the wrong guy.
Teamwork.
Dang it. That's crap.
He was after he had his finger on the button for you.
I
Chad.
did. I was waiting for you to do it
He wasn't expecting me.
Yeah,
again.
he was. Yeah, I don't know about him.
Oh,
I don't know
man.
why he thinks so ill of me that I would say, Alexa, who is the
You're right. Stop it.
Who are the St. Louis Cardinals
Hey,
behind?
Ted. I'm glad to see Dennis in from Northeast Missouri Anglers. He had a video out the other day. If anybody hasn't checked it out, they need to. Very well done. He caught some crappie.
But I agree with you, Josh. This is my favorite time of the year heading in because right now, like the Ohio River, right? It's a lake. I know Lyle's going to say it's always a lake, but we've had
Well, no,
current
it's
all the
not
way up.
always, but a big percentage of the time.
Yeah,
it is.
a lot of the time it is.
Well, up here, usually July. By July, it's under, a half mile an hour under. We had water running until almost August, and then it finally started coming down.
Oh wow.
Where they weren't running, almost mile and a half, 2 mile an hour current, right? So it's right now to where, like this weekend, the last 2 weekends, you just go out there and you drag everywhere. You could drag upriver, downriver, side to side, whichever way you wanted. And that's my preferred method this time of year, right? When that current's 0.2, 0.3 right now, to me, so even suspend drifting, I'm not like crazy about. I like that when it's
I like to be over a mile per hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say when it's typically hitting that 1.2 is where I would prefer more to suspend drift. And then once it gets a little bit higher than that, I like to get into the spot lock anchor mode.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
It gets faster than that. It's a good time to bump.
Well,
That's right.
yeah. Well, I think this time of year when you're able to, because you're getting into the change right now, right? Where the last couple months, everybody around here has been horrible. The few times I went out catching 1 or 2 fish was a struggle. That's how bad it was up here. Not this weekend, but the weekend before this, we got to go out twice and 12 fish one day, 11 the next.
Yeah.
And it
That's
was
a pretty good day.
up here. That's a really good day.
Yeah.
Anytime you hit double digits up here, that's a good day. Nothing really of size. All those 5 to 10, maybe a couple over that, but
Yeah, still.
But it was a lot of fun. We're starting. They're starting. Yeah, the bite's starting to pick up. So, and I think it was evident this weekend where, like I said, 148 out of 178 boats weighed fish. Right.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good.
That's really good. That is. What were your water temperatures like this weekend?
Around 75.5 on the river.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So
the last time we went, and we were just bank fishing, but the last time we went fishing, it was like bath water. It was awful.
Yeah.
And you can catch fish. They have to eat. The water can be 100 degrees. Those fish still have to eat.
You just got to find them.
You got to find them, and don't expect that crazy bite. That crazy fast bite whenever.
Yeah.
If
you don't want to be out there in the heat, moving around, running around, the fish don't want to either. So I mean,
that's 100% correct, Josh.
Well, that's what I was saying now, right? Why I think dragging baits, which is the majority of what every boat out there was doing this weekend, is very effective, is because those fish are not, they're not just laying around not wanting to move too far. They're starting to move and they're starting to chase.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And that's a good thing when they get out there doing that, and you find a presentation that you can cover a lot of ground with, and you're looking for active fish.
Yep. Welcome, Gabby and Allison and Old Boy Outdoors. Fellas, this time of the year when you're talking about dragging bait, planer boards are your buddy. Now, I know guys run them things way out to the side of their boat. Personally, I like to concentrate the scent pattern within about 30 or 40 feet of the boat. Way back, but not out so far that you're all over the place. I see no use for that.
I do.
Concentrate on what's behind the boat. if you're going over fish, them's the fish you need to be working.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's where I differ from what you just said. So I agree with, usually when I put my planer boards out, it's 10 to 15 feet for the inside boards, another 10 to 15 feet on the outside boards to start. Now, that works if you are finding fish, like you said, right? If you're finding in a straight pattern on a flat or on that ledge, but if you are not, that's when I start changing, and I will take those outside planer boards and move them out another 10, 20 yard, whatever feet. And then I'll move the inside boards out a little bit more, right, to replace those and start seeing where those fish
Where
are.
they're
Because,
at.
yeah, if I'm
Yeah,
dragging,
kind of
right,
shotgun pattern.
Yeah.
You can.
Now,
then
I'm
you can
also
find where
dragging 2 right straight out the back.
I always drag two
you always got to
staggered
drag
rods out
straight
the
out the
back.
back.
Yeah.
But with
So
those
them's the
planer
fish you're
boards,
going over.
yes. But with those boards, typically what I'm doing is, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to do because you're getting hit on both, so you're just leaving where you're at. But same thing, if I move those boards out and I start getting hit on that outside planer board bank side,
Mhm.
I know I need to start shifting a little bit.
Move a
Or if
little
I'm
bit
hitting
closer to the bank, and
channel
then
side,
yep.
yeah,
Now, one of my favorite ways to do that is find a drop off and put boards up on top, straight out behind the boat as it goes down. Then the outside boards are in deeper water, and try to stay on that ledge.
yeah,
That's what gets difficult, is staying on the ledge, because the ledge moves and you got to stay up with it. It's nearly a job for the guy operating the trolling motor to sit there and look at the depth finder and the contour lines to see where the boat needs to be going, and then you need somebody to watch the rods.
Oh yeah, and I mean that's like if you're suspend drifting. You go up a foot, or you get a foot shallower. You need to
Reel 'em
have
up.
somebody there to put a turn or two on the reel. That's where it comes in real handy to have Caitlin on the boat. Now just point
Oh
it
yeah,
right.
I bet so.
Give me 2 turns on this one. Give me 3 on that one. She's good at it.
yep.
See Larry. I see Larry from Old Boy Outdoors has joined us. We're gonna be seeing him here in a couple weeks down at Crab Orchard Lake. We got a bunch of us getting together down there. Looking forward to that.
I really think suspend drifting, when they're biting and really working and you're suspend drifting, them are some of the greatest takedowns ever.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They'll take a rod if
The
you're
one
using,
off the side of the boat, and then it just rips it. That's the
and we
best
call
one
that
ever.
dead sticking.
Yep.
You got a dead stick out each side, and the key to that, fellas, was told to me years ago by Harold Dodd. And if you're in current, of course, we always put dead sticks out the side when we're bumping. But the key to that is having that line straight down. If it takes 1 ounce of weight, a half ounce of weight, if it takes 24 ounces of weight, if it's not straight down, you do not know what the depth is on that particular rod.
Hey, there's Ernie Brown. I was watching his deer cam the other night.
I've seen some
There were
deer
some
he's
there were
doing
some
real
real
great.
healthy looking bucks out there the other night. There is our upcoming Top Cat competitor, Stan from Two Stands Fishing.
Yeah, suspend drifting, it's a lot of fun. Bugman says you need to do a show on planer boards.
I think we should do that.
I do too. I have all the kinds of stuff, and I got several different kinds of boards. I have to look.
I just got a new set of boards the other day, so
I've got quite a few sets of boards.
I love running planer boards. Doc Lang and I use planer boards, and we talked about it for years. And everybody used to go by and make fun of us.
You sure that was what they were making fun of you about?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's what it was.
You come into the weigh-in and at tournaments, and people are, how did planer boards work out for you? Well, take a look and see. And the next thing you know, everybody was using them. But Doc and I used them before. Cool to do.
I bought a set of the Alpha boards about a month ago. I haven't got to use them yet, but they are really, really built nice.
Yep, I've got them, my FOA boards, and my Uncle Lou's. I got, like I said, I've got quite a few. Actually, and then I also have a set of something that nobody else will ever have, is a a set of ones made by Fishing and Stuff himself.
Oh, nice.
I'm pissed about that.
And they're autographed.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
But-
you use them?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah, don't use those.
Rookies. But back to what you were talking about with before we go on too far, but that's the big thing for depth finders, right? If too many
Mhm.
people, I rarely anymore. When I first got them, was different, but now I'm not looking really all the time just for fish, right? When you are dragging those boards, like what Lyle was saying, trying to ride that ledge, that's where it gets
Mhm.
important. Is making sure, like I'll go when I start out with my boat. One of the first things I do now is I will go to the map view and start recording, so that I'm recording those ledges that I'm going down and looking and seeing, and I will try to maintain and stay right on that ledge
Mhm.
as much as I can, and that's a game changer when you're trying, because if not, like Lyle said, that river channel shifts all over the place, and you're going to end up finding you're in 50 feet, and then all of a sudden you look over and you're in 25, like in a matter of seconds,
Mhm.
right? So trying to figure out where you're at and keep yourself aligned, that's huge and important to make sure one on your graph where you're at, because if not, it can be you can
Yep.
all of a sudden be way off your mark, and then you're trying
Especially if you're in a place, Chad, where you've never been before and you have
Yes.
no idea.
And we've had
ledge
spots
goes.
where we've had spots where we're dragging baits and we can go all day long, catch fish, never get snagged. But you go a little bit outside of that path and you get into that broken up rock and everything else. Well, it's snag city. We turn around, you got it, all 6 rods bent over and peeling line off of them at the same time. So first boards made them out of wood. And 73, Robert Modulin.
That's kind of cool, isn't it?
Those are older than me.
Well, I can't say that.
Me too.
Butterflies and sunshine.
Let me see here. Alkaloo and FOA boards are awesome. The alpha boards drag about the same. The alpha boards are more versatile. Yeah, I liked that they actually, the selling point on them for me was that they fold flat. They fold flat. And
That is a pretty neat concept. It really is.
And after the show tonight, I thought he was going to be in chat. He said he was going to, but I haven't seen him yet. But I'll advertise.
He's never on time.
He's always late. But Danny Stone has a production video coming out, and that he hasn't done one of those in quite a while. Danny's live every Sunday, but you never really see a production video. But he has one premiering tonight at 8:10, so about 10 minutes after the show. And I've actually, when I was setting the stream up tonight and getting everything going, I set a redirect. It's supposed to kick everybody over to Danny's premiere after the show. If it doesn't, Danny Stone Outdoors, go check him out.
That's right.
Yeah. So, question.
Mm-hmm.
The subject is how to successfully target catfish during the summer to fall transition.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you guys doing this time of year? And you can't just say find the bait.
I am looking.
You can say it, but don't just say that.
No, you got to find the bait. But if I'm on lake, and I like lake fishing this time of year. I like river fishing too, but I like lake fishing this time of year. And I'm looking at the mouths of some of those coves, and I'm trying to find that bait that's stacked up in there, because this is about the time of year they're going to start making their way from the main lake all the way into the coves. And they're going to end up at the back of the cove in about as shallow water as you can get before they move back out in the wintertime. I want to find them, and I don't want to fish right where all that, flood of bait is. Because, let's face it, I cut a shad, throw it out there. Well, there's 10,000 other shad down there. It's like playing the lottery. but I'll get a little bit outside of that. I may go 10 or 20 yards outside of that. And I'm looking for fish that are on the outskirts of that, kind of doing some hunting, and start looking there. That may be where I anchor up.
We haven't talked about that part at all tonight, but we're going to be at the time in the next few months where anchor fishing will be a thing again.
Mm-hmm.
In the summertime,
52 degrees.
Yeah, I don't think
threshold.
any of us do any anchor fishing much in the summer when it's hot.
Not a lot.
Moving baits and stuff. But
It
in the
depends
winter
on where I'm at. If I'm on the lake, I will still anchor in the summertime. But that's typically on Crab Orchard, and that's a whole different body of water.
Welcome 205.
Crab Orchard
48 to 55 is in there somewhere.
Do you want to know what water temperature I stop dragging baits at?
You drag in the middle of winter. I know you never stop.
When it freezes over and I can't drag baits, I will stop dragging baits.
The thing about dragging baits is you present your bait in front of so many more fish. And the only difference in doing it in the wintertime versus the summer is you just have to slow down.
Yeah.
You just got to slow down because they're a little lethargic and they're not as outgoing, but they're still going to eat. And the fish that they're eating every day, they don't slow down for them. They have to go catch them things. So it's not like it's not a great presentation, but if you slow down, they don't have to work as hard to go get them. If that makes any sense. Hey, Mike Irwin, welcome, buddy.
So
a lot of people don't do anything but anchor fish when the water gets cold.
And I do a lot more spot locking too, but I want people to make sure that they understand, because you're going to hear people say, "Oh, you can't do that in the wintertime." If you can do it, if that water in the rivers, if the water current is not too strong, or if you're in a lake that you have access, do not be afraid to drag bait. Just slow them down.
Slow way down.
Because I can tell you that.
What's your max speed that you're going to
in the wintertime?
In the wintertime,
I will probably do around 0.3, maybe 0.4.
That's faster than I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, there's
days at
0.2. There's days at 0.2, but again, if they're where I can drag baits, they're probably going to be active, right? Even if it's a warm, sunny day in a creek, that shallow water, if they're up in that creek, they're feeding, they're moving.
When you've had cool mornings like we're having now, or like we've had this past weekend, don't be afraid to target that. Spend a little extra time in that shallow water, because that's going to heat up faster, and those fish will come up there. The bait fish will be drawn up into that warmer water.
You betcha.
And the big fish are going to be right up there after those bait fish. That's why I like, as it starts to cool off in the fall, you start looking late October, whatever, we will anchor up and we'll be fishing not too far off the shore. We'll be fishing, if we're lake fishing, we'll be in 3-4 feet of water. And we're looking for deadfall trees. We're looking for rocks. We are targeting structure at that point. Targeting cover. I can't talk tonight, but targeting cover. And I mean, you're throwing in and trying to put that bait right next to that deadfall tree, like Lyle would throw a spinnerbait for a bass.
Yeah.
See how I worked that in there? I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've caught them in January in creeks.
Stan's going different route. If you're looking for the absolute biggest fish in the water, it's anchoring year round, but moving techniques, drifting, dragging, bumping is going to put bait in front of the most active fish.
I don't agree with that. I know Stan loves his anchor fishing. He's been very successful with it. But the biggest fish that I know of in recent years has been caught bumping.
My two biggest fish have both come off the anchor, but they've both come on December 21st, a year apart.
All of my,
So
I'm trying to think. Yeah, all of my biggest fish have been cut dragging baits, except for my flatheads.
And a lot of that, fellas, has to do with what you like to do.
That is true.
And
If you're more successful at dragging baits, chances are you're going to catch bigger and more fish because that's what you want to do. If
it
you
goes
like
down to
anchor,
confidence.
that confidence is everything in fishing.
Confidence
It
has
really
that
is.
weird, there's no explanation to it, but
Yeah,
having
makes a
confidence in a technique will.
That's
That's like
the-
Dockery. He's confident he can go out and catch a bass every time he goes tropical.
Yeah,
Not Dockery sending pictures of bass all the time in the group chat.
that
I'm
is
just
true.
saying.
I don't have to tell you about them. I just do it because I'm a good guy. I caught one today, by the way.
Dockery says everyone knows the biggest fish in any lake below the dam, and it's the size of a car. My cousin's friend is a diver, and he saw it. He's an underwater welder.
Yeah.
And he saw it. He's never been back into water. He quit his job, and yeah. I had the guy at the reel counter at the St. Charles, Missouri Bass Pro Shops one day, trying to tell me all about Lake of Egypt, which is right basically in my backyard, and about how there's catfish down there, swallow you whole, and okay.
I had a buddy of mine that worked for a company called Gateway. They're not in business anymore. And they repaired all kinds of stuff and worked on stuff on the river and stuff. And a friend of mine was a diver for them. And one of the deals that he done was in front of the dams, he would go down and take cables and tie around them big logs that gets jammed up against the thing. So we was talking one day. I said, "How many Volkswagen-sized catfish you ever find?" Chuck, he said, "I never found any." He said, "To start with, you can't see anything down. It's black. You're feeling for everything." He says, "Now you can feel them when they bump into your leg or when they swim by you or something." He said, "You can't see them. Anybody that tells you can's a liar." And he said, about the biggest thing I ever thought that I had a hold of was I moved one out of the way, reaching around to hook that cable. They just reach around with the cable. It's got a hook on it, hook around the thing. Then he's craning to pull them out. And he said, probably 30 pounds, maybe a little bigger than that. He said, "I'm guessing because I couldn't see the damn thing." He said, but not, he said it wasn't, there's no giants down there that he ever.
Well, that's like.
But now it's above the dam.
That's like if you want the biggest fish in the river, you got to find the deepest hole in the river. How many times you heard that? Go find
many times, and I've caught
little
bitty fish out of them deep holes. Little bitty fish out of deep holes. I'm talking about 4, 5, 6 pound channel cat.
I think the biggest one. There is a spot. Was it kind of down by Rosy Clare, Illinois, on the Ohio River, and it goes through this bend, and it gets down to about 110, 115 feet. The biggest fish we've caught out of there is 17-pound blue. Caitlin caught that when she was about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, something like that. But we haven't caught a lot of fish out of that deep water.
If you go to the Mississippi River in Louisiana, Missouri, they have a train bridge that goes across just below the car bridge, right in town. And on the Illinois bank, there's, as long as I can remember, there's a deep hole on the second pier. And it's normally around 80 or 90 feet. Sometimes it's a little more than that. Sometimes it's a little less than that, but that's a good average. And there's always fish in there. And there's been guys that set trot lines out from that pier to the bank and different things.
Get out of here.
And they catch, they'll catch some 20s and 30s and occasional 40 and stuff, but no mondos, but there's always fish in that hole, but they're not always giant.
You don't even know where the Ohio River is, Dave. You just stay up there on your little
Dave,
whatever that lake is, Hoover.
Glad to see you in there tonight, Dave.
Yeah,
Hoover.
That guy. Yeah, I've never understood that of you got to find the deepest water type
No,
thing.
No,
but one of the biggest tournament fishermen in the country, Larry Muse, will look for the deepest hole in every place he fishes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you
I ain't
don't
saying
give
I don't look.
oh
Yeah.
but
but
he'll fish. That's where he starts.
Yeah.
If he don't do any good, he only gives them, like most of us do, a certain amount of time, and then he'll go somewhere else if he don't get bit. But when he goes to a new area, he's looking for the deepest part.
yeah, see me. I think we talked about it before. One of my starting in my area, I love 35 feet. That's my starting point most days.
That 40-foot zone, it's always something in that 40-foot zone.
Well,
30 to 40, something like that.
Yep.
I'm not a big fan of fishing really deep. I didn't used to be a fan of fishing really shallow, but I'm starting to be more of a fan because I've learned after all these years that the bait fish will be where the warmth
Yep.
is, and the catfish will follow them up
I
there.
don't know. I kind of like that 12 to 20 zone too, though. So
yeah.
It's all good. I mean, there's times when I tell you what. Now, this is just my opinion for what it's worth, but I think water temperature has a big bearing on where those fish are going to be because it's where their food is. So if the shad or skipjack or bluegill or whatever the hell they're eating are in shallow water, there's going to be a percentage up there eating all the time. If they're in 20-foot water suspended, that bait fish, the catfish will be underneath them. And if they're deeper, and the only reason they go really, really deep is to get away from the heat or to rest.
Yep.
Now, that's
Or
how
cat.
I feel about it.
So
Now, I will say this. And one other thing that as we move into the fall, I will start soaking baits a lot longer than I will in the summertime.
The colder it gets, the longer you give them.
And when
Big
summertime, when the water's 80 to 90 degrees, about every half hour I'm pulling in the a three-headed monster. I don't know what you got going on there.
Shut up, Doctor.
But
here, I'll highlight Dockery's.
Lyle knows this because of his bass fishing skills. Yeah, that's true.
How would he know?
But no, we got, summertime, water's hot. I go about 30 minutes before I'm pulling my baits in and changing baits.
As long as you got plenty of bait.
I don't know that shad is sitting down there spoiling and rotting, but I feel like it is. So again, it goes back to confidence. It's a confidence thing for me. About 30 minutes, bring the bait in, and then I'll, when I cast back out, I may try to go about 4, 5, 6 feet, whatever, away from where I was. It'd move around a little bit.
There's Danny Stone.
There's Danny. He's getting ready to go to Memphis.
Well, good luck down there, buddy. I like to change my bait at 30 or 45 minutes, depending on how cold the water is. But I have actually caught 3 fish on a skipjack head one time. And the only reason I took it off is because it was mutilated up after catching 3 fish. I'm not sure how soon the scent comes out of them, but if you'll pick one up that's been out there 30, 40 minutes, they still stink.
I can tell you that even shad head, even in the summertime, I have caught fish with baits on there for hours.
Yep.
It will.
Now,
like I said, it's
confident in
I
it.
don't disagree with
confidence
you.
thing for me.
I don't disagree with you, but one of the one thing you can do instead of just getting rid of and discarding that bait because you think it's been out there too long, squeeze it.
Mm-hmm.
Get that blood and that oil going again.
Running back out of there.
Stepping on it.
You can hit it with a hammer like Jody did.
Yeah, you can hit it with hammers like some people do. But I have seen my buddy Bill made a believer out of me, even them little tiny shad of stepping on the bait.
I hate those things.
and till you hear that pop, and then casting it back out there, you'd be surprised what that opens up in the fish, and the bait isn't still decent. So,
that stepping on the baits reminds me of Luke Hinges. When first time I met him, he
frogs
give me frogs, and that's what he done to them. You step on them, squish them, put them on the hook. It's effective, boys. I'm telling you, for channel cat, they're hard to beat when they're working. Squish frog, they love them. I like to put them on there live myself.
if I'm not mistaken, by the way, I believe it is Lance McCouguy's birthday. So happy birthday to Lance.
There it is. Yeah, happy birthday, man.
So Josh, you touched on something that I was going to bring up too. I fish more river than I do lakes,
right.
But one of the things that I do love is those the mouths of creeks in the river.
Absolutely.
To me, those are ambush points, right? Because like right now, where bait has been hard to find in the creeks, the bait's moving back up in there to the mouths of the creek and back in the back of the creek, and that's exactly what I did last weekend.
How do you fish those mouths?
You got to find a good one that's not silted in.
It depends.
They usually got a hole at the end at where it dumps into the scour hole.
The main one that I was fishing this past weekend does not. It's about 10 feet and goes up to about 6, and then all of a sudden when you get to the mouth, it's like 2.5, 3.5 feet all the way across, and then just drops off into the river. It's weird. Now other creeks, there's a little channel that comes out lower the flow.
On an average creek that has a scour hole, I like to go make like a half circle up in the mouth of the creek and come back out and drop baits right off in that.
Yep.
Because a lot of times the hole, even though a scour hole does not have to be 9,000 feet deep. I mean, a scour hole can be 15, 20 feet. But them fish are used to stuff coming out of that creek and falling down.
Rolling off down into that hole.
That's what I do. I take my baits and drag them right off there and let them fall down just as natural as it can be.
Hey, Skip.
And it works. Not every time, but it works. What did I say?
The two main mouth creeks that we fish, the one where we launched, that's where I caught all those fish last weekend. And like I said, it drops into about 52 feet of water, 55 feet. But that's where that the river channel swings right in front of that and then back across before it comes around another corner. And what I was doing through there was dragging at around 40, I want to say it was like 48 feet. So we were dragging through there and we were just nailing them left and right.
Nice.
Now the other creek, we don't drag in front because there's so much rock and there's stumps and stuff through there that you can't. But anchoring up, there's a nice drop off right at the top end of the creek, where this creek, so the river flows this way, and the creek actually comes up and then comes back around. So it kind of creates like a back eddy right there.
Little eddy.
So we tend to fish those. There's a couple drop offs right there that usually produce really well. So that's
eddies is a great place for them fish to wait to rest. I got a question for you about that place you was describing, Chad. You said it was a creek channel come out and it dropped off into the river channel, and then the river channel crossed over.
So the river swings right there in front of this creek. So when the creek comes out, it comes straight out into it. So it's like a T. But that river channel comes right through there. It swings right in front of the creek. So there's not really a drop off of, like you say, it's 3.5 feet all the way across. There's no like little, all of a sudden there's a 4 or 5 foot portion that goes out. It's different than other creeks that I've seen where there is that little channel you can follow in and out of the creek. I don't see that in this creek.
Okay.
Never have.
Well, I thought you was talking about it being a channel swing where it swings from one side to the other. If it's coming out of that creek and that makes a swing, that's a perfect place to try to fish. And by the way, ladies, I have no idea. I've never watched a Harry Potter
I
movie.
guarantee Lyle. Yeah, I was going to say, I guarantee
no
Lyle
idea
never
what
watched Harry Potter.
If it doesn't any movie or anything on TV, if it doesn't have some sense of realism to it, I ain't wasting my time.
Harry Potter's real. It's really good.
No, not for me. Not for me.
But
they're good movies.
But those are the places I really like river wise because again they're ambush points, and if I can find a flat,
I like wizards.
I bet you do. If we can find a nice long flat, right in the outside ledge of that, where those catfish may be sitting on a ledge, coming up and feeding at different parts of the day, I think that's another great spot.
100%. That's spot on. I agree. And they won't be there all the time, and they probably go in and out of there all the time. You know, you may go in the morning and be there, not in the afternoon, or vice versa. But them's great places to try to fish.
It's odd, Lyle, to pretend to be a great fisherman.
Yeah.
I've probably caught more catfish by accident than James Dockery has ever seen. And I know I've caught bigger.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wasn't going to say it.
Oh, Parker was catching your favorite species yesterday, Lyle.
I seen him catch that drum.
Yeah, he caught a big old drum. Danny was trying to talk him into mailing it to you.
I know. I was watching. I was waiting for Jerry to cut part of that up and use it for a bait, but
it's worthless as bait.
It is. It's horrible.
I have never had so much as a hit on drum.
No.
I know people that swear by it. I have never gotten a bite on it.
Yep.
Let's see. Danny says 100% great spots, flat next to a channel or deep hole. Right. Use that this weekend, and
they work great. It gives them a place to rest, and even the Ohio River is a different animal than the big river.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that it's not a big river, but it's not compared to the Mississippi and the Missouri. It's not, and
it's nowhere near those two. No.
It does not have current constant, where those two always have some current. Even when it's really low.
Yeah,
but when it has current, it fishes different than it does when it doesn't have current. Or at least whenever I was there, one year you'd go to one of them tournaments down there, and it would be like a lake, and you pull planer boards up and down it like Chad was talking earlier. The next year, there'd be 2 or 3 mile an hour current in it because they had a big rain somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And you're bumping nonstop.
And you're bumping, or, something. But it is a different river to try to figure out. But the fish move in it, but they usually don't go too far in the summertime. They'll go, but blue catfish, they travel so much, you just never know where you're going to find them. But flats with a deep hole is an excellent spot. What we got there?
What the hell?
Is that Dockery in a dress?
That was something that was after Chad.
No, that was way taller.
Oh,
My bad.
Richard Ward, Mad Cat or Catfishing. Hello, Richard.
Hey, what's up, Richard? Good to see you, bud. But yeah, I think too one of the things that I've done the last 2 weekends is multiple baits.
Multiple baits? Is that what you said?
Multiple baits,
yeah,
multiple sizes, but for the most part,
talking about multiple kinds of bait?
I'm trying to
explain it, but
having shad, skipjack, I had literally 3 out of 3 trips on the creek that I launch out majority of the time have caught 1 Asian carp a day in a cast net using those, seeing what they're feeding on. It's been it was really a shad bite the last 2 days.
We're moving into time of year where it's really, for me, it really does become a shad bite.
Won't be long.
That 50 to 52 degree range, that's about when I switch over and get on the anchor, and that's about what time I'm going to go to shad. And they don't have to be huge shad in the wintertime.
Nope.
And I know we're completely skipping fall, and we've talked a lot about winter tonight, but that is on its way too. So I mean, whether we like it or not, it's going to be here in a couple months. You know, we're only 3 months till the end of the year. So,
but I think this time of year right now, what you're leading into, if you're looking to pack your freezer with some meat, this would be a good time to get out because you're going to find the numbers of eaters.
Oh yeah, get out there while they're they're coming out of their summer funk. They're getting ready to put on the feed bag because they know winter's coming. Get out there and get, 3 to 5 pound eater cats are delicious.
Oh yeah, and you ain't like butchering a hog like them big ones are.
Oh yeah, you can.
And you can fix them where you do them whole or side them off or whatever you want to do. It's multiple choice. Yep, Dave, you're right. I see a lot of big flatheads come out of the Ohio River near Pittsburgh. I don't know.
And we didn't touch on those a lot tonight, but we're coming into the time of year where they're going to be on fire again.
They got to be getting ready.
They will be back after the live bait again.
I was surprised there was not a lot of flathead weighed in that I saw. At least day one, I didn't get to watch yesterday this weigh in. Obviously, there was a monster at 55.5 that was weighed in, but I think it's right now it's due to people really mostly dragging baits versus the anchor. Now, I'm a firm believer that you can catch them dragging baits, so it's just not as prevalent to do it. That's what you get, James Dockery.
Oh my God, you guys are horrible.
I've been called worse today, so
I understand that. Well, fall is, like I say, it's my favorite time of the year. Not only for fishing, but for temperature wise and everything that you do. And if you're a hunter, that's all coming into play too. And don't forget, if you guys, with deer season coming up, and it doesn't matter if it's deer, rabbit, squirrel, raccoon, it don't make no difference. If you get a picture of that, send it in to Josh, Pics at the Weekend Angler, and he will get you on the bragging board, and we'll show you.
I finally got that groundhog over the weekend.
Did you take a picture of it?
No, I didn't take a picture of him. I didn't shoot him with a camera.
I understand that completely. I really do. Would you like to know what I've been shooting?
No.
Okay.
That's a loaded question.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be some more of that going on, too. So
here, I'm going to send this to D.
Uh-oh.
See what she says. Hey, babe. Check your messenger, babe.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
TMI. Josh, have we got a bragging board tonight?
We do. I've got it set to do as the outro video tonight. That seems to be working pretty well. And it should redirect everybody. Danny Stone Outdoors, who's got a premiere coming up in about 10 minutes now. But if it doesn't redirect you, go up in that search part and type in Danny Stone Outdoors and go over to that premiere and hang out with Danny and show him some love. Danny's throwing out. Danny went through and got a production video edited.
I'm proud of him.
Now, remember to tell Danny Stone that we sent you over from Catfish Weekly, so he knows that we care about him.
Yeah, go over there and give him a hard time, and if you have any accounts with funny names, you can usually get them to say them.
Usually.
Yep.
Let's roll the bragging board, boys.
All right. Well,
hope
everybody has a good week. We'll see you next week where Stan will be in our guest as Top Cat.
Top Cat.
2-hour special. Be sure to tune in.
Have a great week, y'all. Chad hit it.
You mean hit it?
Yeah, because if we all hit it at the same time, it doesn't play the video.
I got it. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Howdy, folks. It's time once again to take a look at the Catfish Weekly bragging board.
the weekly video series where we showcase the amazing fish caught by you, our viewers. Leading us off this week is our good friend Danny of Danny Stone Outdoors, who is ending an abnormally long absence from the board by showing off some nice fish caught from the mighty Mississippi River. These fish weighed in at 7, 17, and 40 pounds respectively. Great to see you back on the board, Danny. Dee's sister Danielle joined her and Chad for a Sunday afternoon out on the Ohio River this weekend, and everyone managed to come up with some nice late summer blue cats. Chad even got a chance to test out his Bob Britt Halloween costume while enjoying a break in the hot weather. Nicely done, y'all. Lance Makugai, the Hawaiian fisherman, recently spent some time on the Sheboygan River salmon fishing and managed to come up with a healthy channel catfish while doing so. Lance estimated this fish weighed in somewhere between 7 and 8 pounds. Great work, buddy. And closing us out this week is our good friend Jerry of Parker Pursuits. Fast falling river levels didn't stop Jerry from finding and catching fish this weekend, including this behemoth of a flathead catfish that tipped the scales at 50 pounds. That's an amazing fish, Jerry. Nicely done. Don't forget, guys, you too can be featured on the Catfish Weekly Bragging Board. To be eligible, the fish needs to have been caught within the past 14 days, and we accept pictures of any species of fish. To get yourself or a friend on the bragging board, all you need to do is email your fish photo to pics@theweekendangler.com. Send us the information shown on your screen, and we'll get it on the board for you. Thank you all for watching. Have a great week.